Today's video, we're going to talk about how to market online courses with paid ads profitably. If you have a course, you want to market it, paid ads is actually the easiest way to do it outside of building a social following, which is what most people tell you you have to do. This is what, though, nobody tells you about, okay? Very few people say how to promote a course with paid ads because typically it's not profitable. It requires a lot of money, but money is really just irrelevant in that if you were to run ads for a course and it made more sales than the ad spend cost, it wouldn't matter how much money you threw at the ads. The key is understanding how to put $1 in and get at least $1 out. That's exactly what I'm going to cover in today's video, is how to actually make a campaign profitable running ads on YouTube specifically for a course in the niche that you're in and actually have it pay off at the end of the day. Before I go into the techniques, I'm going to talk about where this exact step-by-step formula that we've used before in the coaching space, selling courses there, and also a case study where I talk about the actual niche, the results that we got. If you do not know who I am yet, I am Corey Zyman, owner of Guaranteed PPC, an online advertising agency that specializes in guaranteeing results for their clients. That is, we do not charge our clients management fees until we can get them a certain minimum lift in the profitability up front in excess of the management fees that we charge. We are the only agency out there in the world that offers anything like this, which should tell you something about the quality of information that I'm sharing with you in today's video. So with that said, getting into it here. Now, if you sell cheap courses with no upsell process whatsoever, this formula that I'm about ready to give you here just simply isn't going to work. There is no ad formula for finding a $99 course that you could run paid ads to and make money. You used to be able to do this 20 years ago when you could buy clicks on Google Ads, or what they call Google AdWords back then, for 10 cents a click and get 1% of them to convert and pay $10 for a customer, ultimately, and you can make money. And it was profitable running those funnel like that. The problem today is the clicks are not 10 cents a click anymore. It's $1 a click to several dollars a click. And, ultimately, even if you sell a $2,000 course, paying $2 a click, you got to be really good with your ads. And for that matter, the more your course costs, the less your conversion rate gets. So you need just more clicks. So raising the cost of your course isn't going to make up for the fact that the cost of the clicks are more expensive. It's to the point where you can't just find somebody who on Google wants to buy a how to make money 3D printing course on Google, get it right there at the right time, and then sell it to them and make a profit to keep the ads running. Nobody really does this anymore. I'm sure in some spaces it's doable. You got a totally underserved market, but for the most part, it's just not the path anymore. For that matter, in general, with the strategy I'm about ready to share, must be in an underserved market still. Okay, if you're trying to sell a course, how to do drop shipping on Shopify. There's 15,000 people doing that already. To use this formula doing that, which frankly is stupid, because there's enough courses out there. You could just take the course that's there, repackage it, and sell it. You're not providing any value to the market, really. You're just pushing onto the market that people already don't want, which is, if you're going to get into business, find something that people actually legitimately want and sell that. It's much easier. But because your conversion rates are not going to be good, promoting something that people know that there's other courses out there and it's not that particularly unique, the math will not work out and you won't make money at the end of the day after the cost of your ad spend. And so your goal is to put together a course where people say, I cannot find this course anywhere. Legitimately, people want it already. They want a course doing whatever it is that you're trying to make a course for already. For the most part, you can either develop that demand for that course by being an influencer, and people will want it just because of who you are or your brand, or you have to find a niche, some area that's where people want information, they don't have it, no course exists yet, and people would spend money for it. And for that matter, what I would recommend to you before we even go down this path is to go in the comment section and say, hey, I got a course, blah, 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 whatever, and see what the general feedback you get from people is, or make some posts on Reddit, see what's in demand. Then that way, when you make the course and all that, you aren't going to get screwed up. Anyway, if you've got something that's really genuinely in demand, then you can move on to the next steps here, which what you're going to do to sell your course using paid ads is you're going to promote it on YouTube. Okay. You're going to start a YouTube channel just like anybody else. Okay. But Corey, I thought you said this is about paid ads. Yes, this is about paid ads, but your base of your operation is still a regular YouTube channel and keep updating it just like anybody else that's trying to sell a course. You're going to sprinkle on the ads on top to make the whole engine of it work way better, way faster, turbocharge the process, so to say, if you will. Now, one thing, if you haven't done a YouTube channel before, you may not know that if you've got a decent channel in a niche that's underserved, or you're just really good at providing better information than what's in the niche here. For instance, on my channel here, people know the information I provide on this channel. They see other channels, if they know anything about ads, they know what most people are talking about on other channels, and then they see the content on this channel and they subscribe because of that. So I'm actually providing value that isn't being provided in the market because I run an ad agency already and I have real firsthand knowledge of what's going on with running ads and making money with ads. And so what I'll do is I'll get, for every 50 to 100 views on my channel from new viewers, I'll get a sub. More so like 50, which is a really high number for YouTubers to get. But generally speaking, if you have, again, good information that's not rehashed, you're just regurgitating from somebody else, you should be able to, if you start a YouTube channel, get 1% of your YouTube views to turn into a subscriber. Okay? And if you're trying to sell a course, the subscribers are who buys, ultimately. You first got to get them to be a subscriber. Once they're a subscriber, you can get them to buy. One of the things you can do when you get people to be a subscriber of your channel is to run ads for your course. On our channel, we remarket to people who watch this channel, and we pitch our agency services, guaranteed PPC, get your PPC guaranteed, whatever. And that will get people that are already subscribed, know, like, and trust me because they listen to, they're an active watcher of this channel. We get clients that way. And that's a way to sell to your subscribers once you have them. However, the problem with that model is, by itself, is it, just to let you know, it took years before I got any clients from this channel at all. I mean, you're here every week, week in, week out, no clients. The average person that asks me about YouTube and doing it, and as soon as I tell them it was 2 years before I got a single client, they're like, no thanks. You got to be in business willing to do what other people aren't willing to do if it's going to work. Most of the time, unless you got a genius technology that you came up with that's going to change the world. But anyway, with that said, so you could sell to people once they're subscribers, but how do you get subscribers quickly, given that it takes years to build up a YouTube channel? Okay? By the way, once you get subs, for every 100 subs you get, you should be able to get one sale of your course, which you may say, well, that's not enough, because if I'm selling my courses for $39, how am I going to make money only selling to 1 out of every 100 subscribers, and it's so hard to get subscribers? Yes, you are right. However, going back to rule number 1 here, you're not going to make any money selling no $39 course. You got to have, if it's a cheap course, it's got to have an upsell ascension program. I highly encourage you to go check out some of these so-called fake gurus that are on YouTube, like Dan Locke. What's that guy? That Lamborghini guy here in my garage. Some of these people that just sell courses, these fake gurus in the guru space, watch what happens when you ultimately buy that course. They have a whole string of crap that goes on behind that course that pays for the ad spend to get the person to buy the initial course. And so that's what we refer to in the marketing space as lifetime value of a customer. What you're trying to do is get the lifetime value of a customer up high enough to offset the ad spend of what you're paying, and then you've got an engine that works. And like, for instance, like with Dan Locke, what you buy a course, and then you buy the course, and really the course pitches the group, an exclusive group, and then the exclusive group pitches a local meetup, like a conference, like little mastermind group or whatever. And then the mastermind group pitches a more exclusive mastermind group, and it's like a pyramid. You don't see it when you're going in, but there's a day later on where your wallet's dry and you got $20,000 sunk into that guru already. That's how they make so much damn money. You have to be good at doing that if you're going to really make money. Just selling a course to somebody and then selling that course to somebody else and then somebody else. There's not enough people out there to buy your course that are interested in it, first of all. Second of all, it's too expensive to find somebody to buy your course to not have that back end. The math doesn't work out. So I would look at the other gurus and see what they're doing. Or you got to have a course that's so in demand that you could charge $2,000 for it and people have no problem buying it like that. And then you could actually go ahead and just sell to one course to everybody and then be good. But still, you'll run out of customers eventually, probably. It's much better, much more sustainable to use the course to get a customer that you could then sell to and sell to and sell to and sell to. That's what most course businesses are actually doing at the end of the day, because the ad spend is so expensive, you cannot afford to not do that. So what you do though, going back to what I was mentioning here, you want to have the YouTube channel that you're trying to build up organically. The end goal should be an organic channel with 100,000 subscribers, because people will want to buy your course just because they know you and you're famous already. That's your end goal. You want to do that still. How do you build up your subscribers quicker though? Okay, well, you can do what our client did and what we do in other cases where we're going to build up a course business. We're going to run what are called Instream Ads on YouTube. Instream Ads are a specific ad type where if you go search for, let's say, golf lessons on YouTube in the search bar, you got your search results there. There'll be an ad that says sponsored. You can see it for yourself. Most of those sponsored ads will take you to a website. However, there's some sponsored ads, which are these in-stream ads. When you click on it, it takes you to the watch page on YouTube for a certain video. So what you ultimately do is you target people that are interested in your niche area of specialty, and you run these specific in-stream ads, which you run a YouTube campaign with the awareness objective, and then you just under the placement types, you just select in-stream ads, and then your ads will only run in those search results. Why is this important? Because when you interrupt people with your video, even though it's on topic, people tend to not want to watch that. They'll click the skip button. Some people will. But what's more effective, for sure, starting out at least, is to start here. In stream of the ads where it shows up before you watch a video at the beginning. In feed ads are the ones that are in the search results like I talked about, where you click on it and then it'll take you to the watch page to watch the video. It will work better if the user thinks that they found that video organically. Yes, people will a lot of times see the sponsored link next to the video in the search results there and not click on it. A lot of people though won't notice the sponsored link. They'll just see your video. It'll look like any other video. It doesn't look like an ad because you're not trying to look like an ad. They'll click your link and then they'll go watch your video thinking they just found that organically. People build up channels organically because the trust you get being recommended by Google gets you somebody who's a lot different than somebody you advertise to that's on your list. It's a totally different thing. The quality of subscriber you get is way different. So you run the in-feed ads, the equivalent of organic views on your video, to build up your subscribers more quick. Because if you wait on Google to build up your views, first video you post is going to get 1 view. And then the next one you post is going to get 2 views. And that's why it takes years to build it up. If you start running the in-feed ads right away, you start getting views right away. Obviously, it takes some money to kickstart the process. But if you got some money, if you got no money, you just build it up organically. If you got some money, you want to speed this process up, you run the in-feed ads, okay? Then 1 to 2% of those people should be able to become a subscriber that watch your video. If your video is good and you're serving an underserved need, you're able to do better than the other people in your niche, or you're the only one in your niche doing it, so to say. You could be the only one who's offering information on how to find sports coaching clients. Nobody has a course like that. You advertise to people who are looking for information about how to do sports coaching. You're at the right place at the right time. They watch your video. At least 1 to 2% of those people who click your in-feed ad, watch your video, should turn into a subscriber. Then once they turn into a subscriber, then of course you can run other ads to remarket to them that they see before watching other videos while they're on YouTube, or they see banner ads pitching your course or whatever. But more so than that, what you're going to do is you're going to keep marketing to them. Occasionally during your videos, you'll mention that you have the course. That'll get you some sales. You got your subscriber base though, and you're going to try to sell to them in the videos, and then you're going to have separate remarketing videos that are going to sell to them as well. Of the remarketing videos, you should be able to get 1 to 2% of the people that are your subscribers, like I was mentioning before, to buy. So 1% you pay to watch your video, subscribe, and then another 1% of the people who subscribe will buy. And that'll end up where your cost per customer is going to probably be a few $100s. If you have an engine going on behind the course, you can make a lot of money doing this. But you got to be good at making funnels, which, frankly, I want to say it's 10 times harder to make an effective back-end funnel than it is to make a campaign to get you customers of the course. It's extremely hard to find a campaign that will work to sell a course at a profit, assuming there's no back end on a cheap course, which is why people do a back end funnel. But it's certainly easier to just build the back end funnel than it is to find that perfect campaign that'll sell the course at less than the course cost itself. So you could pick your whatever you want to do. Again, if you're selling the course for enough money and it's an underserved market enough, you can actually make money doing what I just described and make money with no back end. So it just depends on what niche you're in that will dictate whether you have to have a back end or not. But with that said, that is the formula. You run a YouTube channel like any other. You supercharge the channel by running in-feed ads and point people to your best video that you got that gets normally the best engagement that will get you subscribers. Then you take the subscribers that you got from that campaign and you pitch them directly your course. I would recommend follow-up in-stream video ads, which show up before people watch the videos on YouTube. I'd also recommend banner campaigns. With your Google Ads account, you can actually set up a display campaign targeting anybody who's watched your YouTube channel, subscriber on your YouTube channel itself. So, and with that, that's how you extract the so-called value out of your audience once you've collected it. You can run your banner ads to people that are subs, and then you run your video ads to people that are subs itself. And then you drive them to a landing page itself, and then you get them to buy the course. Pretty simple. It's not that complicated in reality. The hard part is finding a course that will sell, because there's a lot of courses out there, there's a lot of competition out there. And if something sells, somebody's probably already got a course already out there about it. So if you find something that will work, it will work like hell. That's the difficult part, if you will. To give you an example here of a course that did work, we had somebody who sold a how to get sports coaching clients, like I touched on before. This is our case study where we actually use this exact model to make money, which with all that said, there's some nuances to all of this, of course, to make it actually work. How to make a display campaign work so you don't get eat up in terms of bots. How to make a YouTube campaign work so that when you get a sale, the sale will go to make the campaign better on an ongoing basis, the sales that you get, and that you can increase your ROI, decrease your cost per view, so on and so forth, which is important because you have to get your cost per view down in order to make your campaign cost per sale go down. All this stuff I talk about on this channel all the time. So if you haven't subscribed already, you should, because it's the best information you're going to find online about how to make money with ads truly, because it comes from somebody who my full-time job is just doing ad strategy at my firm 40 hours a week. And I spend my weekends going over what works. So it's firsthand information you're getting, which is what you don't basically get elsewhere. People that are trying to make money on YouTube don't run any ads, or they run an agency. They don't get their hands dirty. I also, if you like the channel, though, by the way, you should check out my blog as well. You can find my blog at guaranteedppc.com/blog. The blog has step-by-step instructions to use all the strategies we're using to guarantee results for clients that are firm. And, with screenshots, with everything you need to use them. If you like the channel, you should check that out as well. But going back to what I was saying here, how to get sports coaching clients. So basically, they were targeting people who are looking up any information about how to become a sports coach itself. And when I say sports coach, I mean coaching people that are coaching athletes specifically. So people that want to coach athletes, in other words, okay? They had the same model going on. He already had a YouTube channel, so it was easy for me to recommend what to do here. I said, we're going to run some ads. What's the videos that you have that are the best producing videos that you have? We'll run some in-feed ads, just like I told you here, to those videos. We'll get that to supercharge the amount of actual subscribers you have. Yes, it's going to take a big wet bite out of your current income right now, but it'll be worth it because once you've built up your subscribers, the clients are going to come faster and faster that you have. And this particular person sold a course to get clients themselves. They wanted actual coaching clients, which is, like I mentioned before, most people selling a course, that's not the only business. It's just one component of the business itself. The free course, which we promoted that, then that upsold to the paid course, then that's upsold to the ongoing coaching. With that said, we were paying about 8 cents a view to get in-feed video view ads in that particular niche, which 8 cents a view, and really, this is why I said the niche that you're in matters so much. If you're in a niche like for instance, in our space, advertising, you're going to be paying 40, 50 cents a view. It's way competitive and therefore hard to make it work. Like basically almost impossible to make it work because the cost per view is so high. In some spaces, the cost per view is going to be like 2 cents. And it's actually really easy to make money. The problem with though in those niches where it's 1 cent a view, 2 cents a view on your video ad is that it's probably a niche where you can't really sell a course. So ideally, if you could find a market where it's 5 cents a view, you should know you're on the right track. With that said, it took about 112 views on average in that particular space in order to get a subscriber. So we were paying right around $9 a subscriber, which if you're at that cost per subscriber, you're money already. I want to say if you could keep it under $50 a subscriber, you're already money. Assuming you're good at doing an ascension program like this particular client did and set everything up to do. With that said, once we had run the campaign to get free download of the course, which then immediately upsold to the paid course itself, because the free course was just basically nothing. It didn't give you any actual concrete information on how to find sports coaching clients, but it actually gave them enough to know what they would get in the paid course is going to be quality and qualified information. The cost per paid course purchase that we had was $627 per sale in terms of ad spend. And this is on a course, by the way, that was $299. So we actually lost money to get the paid courses purchased. But in itself, it was fine because they had the whole coaching on the back end that fueled it. So we were willing to lose money on the courses to get the coaching clients. So, and for that matter, the easiest way to make money with your course business is to offer coaching, professional coaching on the back end. Because once they've read your course and you actually have a decent course and you're not, of course you want to learn personally from the person who wrote the course. Why would you not? And for that matter, even if I could put a course together on how to put together the perfect YouTube campaign for a course business, and you're still going to come back to me and say, hey, this is still complicated, I need help with it. Why? Because there's just small nuances to everything. No course can go over all the nuances because every person's unique and their tendencies are unique. So once they download the course, what do? You call them up. Hey, I just noticed you bought the course. How is things going for you? Oh, okay. Well, actually, I offer coaching. You can start out doing coaching. It's $299 a session. There's no commitment. How about we book a call right now and get a coaching session? We can go over it. Then you get your foot in the door that way. Then, of course, if you're good enough on the coaching call, they're going to right away ask for a second coaching call, then a third. Then pretty much you send them to a monthly reoccurring call. And that's how you build up your business. And that's how you pay for and how you lose money on the course sales in order to actually build your business. So, but with that said, we had less than 1% of the views to turn into on our in-feed ads to turn into a sub. And on the subs that we got, what percentage of the people that turned into a sub that turned into a customer was less than 1% as well. So your ultimate goal is to have at least 1% of the subs you have buy. That should be your target basically. Sometimes it'll be less and you can make up for that by having your back end better, but that's specifically how you do it. And for that matter, again, the hard part is usually getting the funnel right. Anybody can set up an in-feed ad promoting a video that is your best performing video on your channel. How can you get the landing page right on your course page to get a high purchase rate? How do you get the upsell done just right so that when they download the course, you have a drip email sequence which keeps them involved so that later on when the paid course drops, they buy that. And then when the paid course is purchased, the paid course is written in such a way that it will set up the coaching sales. And then the coaching call comes in at just the right time with just the right script. It all works together. The best way to figure all that out is to talk to somebody who already does this. I mean, not just relying on me, but finding somebody who has a coaching business that's profitable, pay them for, no pun here, but coaching itself, and ask them how to do it. The problem is they're not going to have time to do it, and they're not going to give you all the guidance on it. They'll tell you how to do it, but and give you confidence to do it, but they're not going to do it for you. You need an ad agency to do this, and if you're interested in that, you can reach out to me at guaranteedppc.com, and I can set it up for you on the back end. We're not obviously going to be charging cheap money for that, so if you can't afford an agency, you roll up your sleeves and you damn well do it. You look at other people's funnels, just go through these other gurus, whatnot, see other funnels set up, copy it. Pretty simple. Or you have an agency do it. I have familiarity with this, so if you want to work with somebody that's honest that will do it for you, we can do it as well. Reach out to me at guaranteedppc.com if you're interested in that. We also have, just to let you know, coaching as well. where we could let you know if your funnel is good enough or where you're stuck, why is it not working. I can do that. We also offer templates. If we've worked in your niche space before, selling a course like you're trying to sell, or just wanted to start a business in an area, that the best, easiest way to do that is to reach out to me at our site and ask if we worked in your space before, because if so, we can tell you the results we got in it already, and then what we would charge for the template, where you can literally copy paste the entire funnel that we produce for it, the ads, the landing pages, all of it, into your ad accounts and in your Unbound/landing page builder or whatever, and then just start making money from it. It's way easier to do that than build it out yourself. If you're interested in the templates, we can also reach out to me at guaranteedppc.com, and I can let you know what we have, what results we got in your market, and everything, all of the above. We've worked in over 100 different niche markets, so the chances are we've got, probably have something close to what you're doing already. That's the formula here. The main business, if you will, your differentiator is in the bottom end of this. Anybody can get somebody to buy a course, technically. Can you make enough money on the back end once you have somebody buy the course to offset the few $100s a course customer sale that it's going to cost to get the customer? Or can you make a course so good that people will pay $2,000 for it, so that when you pay $600 for a sale, $800 for a sale, $1,000 for a sale, it's still profitable at the end of the day? So you could go either way with that, but I'm going to wrap it up with that. Thank you for everything for watching this video and staying tuned on this channel, and I'll see you on the next one.
Remember when I said paid ads was important during this video? Well, this video here tells you how to do it.